Well, hello there. It's me, Keeps. Welcome, welcome. I decided I wanted to take some time to showcase different VTuber models that are out there, and not just any VTuber model. No, no, no. I want to show you some amazing customizable models that are free. Yeah, there are some free models out there that you can utilize, made by some amazing and incredible artists that you can help support. And I wanted to go over a few of the ones that I've found and kind of deep dive into them and how I use them and show you how you could potentially use them and what options are available for them. So feel free to hit that like button, follow along, and let's dive into it. This is the model that I am going to be showcasing to you today, made by the wonderful Kudzu Live2D Art and Animation. And you can get the link to their page down below in the little notes part of this video. But yeah, they have an amazing page, and you can find on their page this customizable mini model. They also do have a customizable bust up only model that you could utilize too, that is also free. But we're going to be focusing on this customizable mini model today. So let's go ahead and dive into it. When you first load the model into vtubestudio, it doesn't look like this at all. In fact, she looks a lot less like this. She looks bland, uncolored, naked even. So give me a moment here to put on my sensor bars, and I'll show you. I'll show you what we're talking about. And here we have it. This is how we begin. As you can see, it's not very fluid moving. I have no hair. I have no clothes. All around, we're very basic. But that's what's nice is you have a blank slate to create whatever you want. So I'm going to walk through all of the customizations, also how I made mine more movable and my mouth more reactive. We're going to go through all of that together. But first, let's put on some clothes just so we can at least get some clothes on momentarily, and so we can go ahead and get through the customization options. All right, there we go. We are no longer naked. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into vtubestudio, and we're going to go ahead and walk through all of the settings. All right, here we are in vtubestudio. When you first load in your model, what you're going to want to do is you're going to come over here to your settings. And we have a couple of things that we want to play around with. First off, your general configuration. I mean, you do this when you first get it all set up, but there is one thing I encourage you to do, which is if you are somebody who doesn't use an iPhone to track with VBridger, which I'm one of those people, I don't. I use my camera and a microphone. So I always recommend turn on your microphone settings and turn on the lip sync settings, because then it's going to better track your mouth with the mic when we turn on another setting. So let's go ahead and do that. If we come over to webcam settings, we have our calibration here. We're going to go ahead and scroll down. First thing we want to do is we want to make sure our eye blink looks good. So we're blinking our eye, and so far so good. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's reacting well to me, but if let's say it wasn't reacting well to you, you can adjust this to maybe you're blinking too much or not enough. You can adjust this however you need to. Same thing with the eye open sensitivity, the mouth open, mouth smile, and your brow sensitivity. The other thing, that's everything I do on that one. Then we come over here to our model setting. Okay, so in our model settings, one of the big things I like to do is I like to play around with the physics. So the default physics is set at 50. And as you can see, I don't really have a lot of movement to me. It's very rigid and stiff. Personally, I like to amp this up a little bit. And then I wiggle around and just see like, how's that wiggle working? How's that working for me? There we go. Now we got some more wiggle. Maybe that's too much for you, but yeah, you just adjust it to how you want, and that improves the wiggle physics. We also have wind strength. I like wind strength to be just a little bit. If you turn it all the way up, it kind of makes you look like you're blowing in the wind too much. But if you turn up a little bit, it'll just add just subtle movement when you're sitting still. And I always turn on dragging physics because I find them funny. I find them funny. All right, so we've got that, and then we have our other parameters. So if you're having troubles with the face moving left or right, you can adjust those parameters here. But for me, these are working out pretty good. Now, when you're adjusting parameters, you're adjusting these numbers right here. You stay away from these. Do not touch the out, only mess with the in. And the smoothing, let's say it's too stiff for you. You could turn on the smoothing and really jack it up. I don't really do it much. The settings that I tend to mess with the most, though, is the mouth settings. But you can adjust the body settings and play around with these and see what works for you as much as you want. And I'm sorry, my phone's notifications are going off right now, and I hope it's not picking that up. Okay. Scrolling down, scrolling down. Yep, my phone's still going off. Just ignore that. Just ignore that. Mouse smile. Okay, so right now we're just set for the input of mouse smile. But if you remember, we turned on our microphone. And what we want to do is want to select this input. And instead of mouse smile, we want to check voice frequency plus mouse smile. And what that means is not only is the camera going to track our mouth, but our voice volume and our microphone is also going to help track that. We're going to change that. And as you can see already, we have some improvements with the mouth movement. And then same thing with mouth open. We're going to select that input. We're going to go all the way down to voice volume plus mouth open. Like that, and bam, look at that. Suddenly I have a very more animated mouth, and I look more like a real boy, a really bald boy. But you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. You can adjust the smoothing a little bit too if you want it to just be a little smoother. You do what works for you, but those are the main two settings that I play with before we get into our expression editor. So as you see, I set my don't be naked setting, which we're going to go into our expression editor. And what you would do is you would create a new expression and you would set the name for whatever you want. So we'll say base design. There we go. And what the base design is going to do, this is going to, when we're done messing with this, we'll have this saved as our base design, and then we can create a hotkey to always turn our base design on. The first thing is ears. We have a few different ear options here. So we have the regular human ears, like so. And then we have elf ears. So if you are a creature with elf ears, you could do that. Now teeth. Right now I don't really have any teeth, but if we turn this on, we can see I can have little vampire fangs. Like vampire fangs, or even more like animalistic spiky fangs. Or I mean, these could be vampire fangs too. You do you. We'll do some vampy fangs. We'll make a vampire today. We have piercing options. So you could have an eyebrow piercing, one, two, or both. You know, we're gonna be an alt vampire. We're gonna have a vampire piercing here. See if I change that to a 1, there we go. And we got a vampire. We got a eyebrow. That is my eyebrow. That is an eyebrow piercing. We could also do a tongue piercing. So if you look at my mouth here, now I have a tongue piercing. We could also add in brow scars. So maybe we have cut eyebrows. There we go. We have both our eyebrows cut. We're gonna do just the one. Right about, what is it? Right about there. I think that's a 2. Yeah. So we can add in freckles. You can have really heavy freckles or very like barely there freckles if you wanted freckles. We also have the option for moles. So we can have moles all over our face here. Bow, 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 bow. Boy, I like it by the eye. That's kind of cute. We're going to do that. Maybe your character has a band-aid on their face, so you could put a band-aid on your nose. Now my character has glasses, so there's the big round glasses that you can add on. You wanted glasses for your character. We're going to leave them off for this one though. We also have eye patches. So you can have one eye patch or the other eye patch with frills or without frills. So if you're a more masculine character, you could create a masculine character, a little masculine chibi with this pretty easily. Or if you're gender neutral, you can do gender neutral pretty easy. Or if you're more girly, you can make it girly, whatever works for you. Now, hair front gradient, this is only going to work once we get hair on. So let's find, where is our hair? There we go. We have hair front center. So first off, we got really curly textured hair. We have just a little wisp of a bang. And we have the straight bangs and then the pointy bangs. So you choose whichever one you want. And then the gradient would just mean when we start playing with color, we'll come back to the gradient to show you this. But when we start playing with color, you can adjust where the gradient lies, which we can't really see that yet. So let's find our hair color here. Where is the hair color? See, that's all hair, animal horns, tails, headbands, crowns, sleeves, jacket bottoms, tails, and angles. Okay, there's color in here somewhere. Oh, I know where the color is. We'll get into the here. But we will, yeah, we'll get into that. But we also have length. So maybe you want it really long or really short. You can adjust the length of these. I want to do long. I want long. Then we can choose the sides of our hair. So we can have a couple of different styles for the sides of our hair. And again, you can adjust the length from there. Like, I like this one. I think this one's kind of cute. And again, we can adjust the gradient. We're just going to put on some gradients so when we get into coloring, you can kind of see what the gradient does. Left hair middles. So this is the this side over here. So if you wanted like different hair textures for the sides, you could. Like maybe you have a braid on one side and we're going to make that really long. And then on the right side, maybe we just have a little tuft of hair. Or maybe also has a braid, but this one is really short. We could have those options to really, have some variety to it. Outside the hoagies, we've got a little sprout. We got the little curly Q, or just a little whoop. And then we got some gradient for the back of the head. Now we also have the options for a tight updo. So maybe your character is wearing a ponytail, so we could have the back of the hair set up. And then we have some things that we can do. So we have like little puffs for pigtails. We got little braids. We got we got little buns. There you go. And you see how like I'm sliding this along? You see how it's 2.98? If I just type in 3, then I'll hit that. So if I just go through and I hit 4, we'll go to the next one. 5. Got another braid here. Oh, that's cute. 6. Little pigtail. Got 7 for another little style of pigtail. 8, we got a little mini pigtail. And 9, we got big curly pigtails, which if you know my character, that's the one that I use, is the big curly pigtails. But I think for this one, let's do the little hair buns. I think that's cute. We're gonna do hair buns. And then same thing here. If we type in 4, we should get, yep, the other little bun. Perfect. But again, if you wanted them to be different on each side, maybe this side has another braid. Maybe we're a little unhinged and we're just, we don't know what we're doing with our hair. You have options. You have options. We also have the options for loose updos. So if we just kind of like, if you wanted more relaxed hair, maybe we don't want that pulled tight back hair. So where is it? Tight updo, if we get rid of that, maybe we just have like a loose updo. That is also an option. And then we have low hair back updos. So maybe we do the loose updo with pigtails like this, or loose pigtails like that one. Or we got another pigtail option here. Got lots of little pigtail options with this loose updo. I like the braids. I think we're gonna stick with the braid vibe here. The braids are braiding. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing over here. We got the same options. And again, we have options to adjust the length. Maybe this one's short and the other one's long. I mean, you do you, right? I like the idea of having really long pigtails, so I think that's fun. We also have updos for the center of your head. So maybe we have ponytails, braids, things like that. We have options here for the back of your hair as well. And then we can adjust the length. So if I do something like this, we adjust the length, we can make it longer. You can kind of see we got curly ponytail, straight ponytail, a braid, and those are those options. Maybe you don't want any updos though. Maybe you just want your hair to be down. Well, we've got the textured hair. We've got some wavy hair, some like more straight-ish hair, and super straight hair. And again, you have the ability to adjust the length, which if we go to the textured hair, look at that length. You can get some length with this. I think it's super cool. I dig it. Now, the other thing, as you see, I have the elf ears, but maybe you're like, I'm more of an animal character. I want animals. Well, guess what? We got animal options too. So we've got a few different animal options. So let's go through them. There's 18 different ones here. So I'm just going to type it in. The first one, we got little puppy dog ears. We got little like angel ears. Oh, this one's like a lamb ear. That's pretty cute. We've got, I don't know what animal that is, but downward turned animal ears. We got, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see that ear better. We got like little fox ears. Little kitty cat ears. Another style of kitty cat ears. I mean, I'm sure there's other animals that use ears like this, but my brain keeps just going, it's another kitty cat. We got bunny ears. little bear ears. Another type of animal ear. I don't know, maybe like I don't know, like another animal, another animal ear. Mouse ear. I think this might be a mouse ear. I'm not sure what this one is, but it's again another little cute little animal ear. I love this for like a little moth. If you're a little moth character. Oh, a little antenna. Oh, a little droopy. Oh, we could have droopy freaking bunny ears. That is so cute. We've got, oh, like little axolotl type ears. And fins. So you have a huge variety of animal ears available to you. And again, whatever's available on the left is also available on the right. But we also have horns. So let's check out our horns. We have 4 different horn options. We got curly horns. We got little spiky horns. We have like, I don't know, is this like a deer horn antler kind of thing? And more like curvy horns. So again, we got some different options for horns. And again, we have right horns and there are left horns as well right up here. We also have wings. So we have 2 different wings. We have wing option number 1 is this, let's see if my hair can get out of the way. You got like little angel wings or you got little bat wings. And there are a variety of tails too. We have 8 different tails. So we got a little devil tail. We got a little dinosaur tail. Oh my God, we could be the dinosaur. Oh, I might have to rethink my model and do a different design. Okay, and then we've got this like foxtail thing. We got a little dog tail. We got a little kitty cat tail, like a little fluffy tail. Oh, I like too how much you wiggle, like the tail. You can really get the tail wagging. We got shark tail. We got, I think that's like an axolotl tail. And then like a little like rat tail. That's so cute. That's so cute. Oh my God, I love the tails. Then we also have some options for headbands. So for headbands, we've got just a regular old headband. And then we have with a bow on it. And I think that's really cute. But maybe headbands aren't your thing. Maybe you are a queen or a king and you're like, I need a crown. Well, guess what? You got a crown. We got a little tiara. Or we got just a little floaty crown. I think we're gonna keep the floaty crown. I think the floaty crown's cute. We also have accessories for the right updo. For right and left. So if you wanted different accessories, you could have it. So we got like the little beads. We got just like a little tuft of fabric. Little bow. And just like a little cloud barrette. And you can do that on the left and the right. So we'll go ahead. We'll do beads. We'll do beads on these. We'll do them beads. There we go. And then if we had a center updo, we have, I think, the same options. Yeah, you can't quite see it, but there's beads. Got the bow. There's a bigger bow. And a little like scrunchy thing. All right. I just realized I don't have any clothes on this entire time. I have no clothes on. Motherfucker. All right. Well, we've been, if you've been watching this, you will have seen a censor bar across this the whole time. I didn't, this whole time I put clothes on to make myself, it is what it is. Anywho, but we have tops. Let's go over our tops. There are 13 different tops to choose from. You have just like a little blouse with frills, with just a collar. We got hoodie. We have like a high neck situation, little turtleneck, little cutout with a heart hole, little cutout with a kitty cat. Just like little like 2-piece kind of top thing. I think that's kind of cute. Just a regular old tank top. Like a spaghetti strap tank top. Tube top. Bikini top. And mermaid top. The mermaid one makes me giggle so much. But let's go ahead and choose Let's choose, let's see, what was this one? No, that's too, we'll do the one with the heart hole. I like that. But then we have different sleeve options that we can utilize too. So we have 4 different sleeves to choose from. We got just regular little puff sleeves. We have regular t-shirt sleeves. We have like long sleeves, which would be great for like the hoodie, or just a regular like long sleeve t-shirt look. We're going to go no sleeves though. We also have neckties as an option. There's 2 options here. So you have just like a regular tie or like a little bow tie kind of situation. We also have jackets. So you can have no jacket or jacket. I think that's pretty cute. Or maybe you are somebody who likes overalls, in which case, hey, now we can have overalls, which I think we're going to do the overall look. I think that is super cute. All right, bottoms. So we have a couple different bottoms options. So we have shorts, we have pants, we have a little skirt, and then we have just like a regular skirt. We're going to go pants because it's very rare that you find a customizable model that has pants. Usually they're like way sexualized. Then we also have socks, which I'm going to take off the bottoms for now just so you guys can see the socks. We have just a regular sock, or we can have higher socks. So like if you did, what was it? The bottoms with the 3 with the skirt and the higher socks. It's like having like, you know, like thigh highs. I want my overalls. I want my overalls. I think those are so cute. All right, tail physics. These are all the physics. So all of these physics we don't mess with. At this point, this is the stuff that you leave the fuck alone. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit save. And now we have our base design right there. But we don't want to have that base design. What we want is we want an actual, you know, we want to make sure that base design is on when we turn our model on. We're going to go to our expression nope, we're not going to go to our expression editor. What we are going to do is we're going to hit this little plus sign here, and we're going to create a new hotkey, and we're going to call it base design. And hotkey action that we want is we want to set or unset an expression. The expression we want to set is base design. And the key combination can be whatever you want. So I'm just going to do Control F1 for now. And so every time I hit Control F1, now my model has this outfit on. Yay! But we still, you know, we still look a little bland, right? We don't have any color or life to us. Well, now we get to have fun with that. So let me show you how we do that. Okay, so to get color, we're going to go to the top here. We're going to hit our model settings, I think. No. Yeah, model settings. We're going to scroll all the way up, and what we are looking for is we are looking for customize model. And what we want to do is we want to customize multiple / screen color for art meshes. That's so hard to say. Meshes. There we go. We're going to select that. What this is going to allow us to do is this is how we are going to colorize everything. So what we can do is we could just click on something, and that would bring us to that particular item. Or we could literally go through every single one of these and set the color. But I think it's much easier to work on just like clicking it. So let's start with our hair. We're going to click on our hair, and it's going to bring up these options. And if we click on the little eye, we can see, okay, that's our head. That's our face fill, which we do need to pick a skin tone. So let's start off with head. Okay, so for our head, we're going to be vampire. So we're going to be kind of pale. But we do need some color to us. So we're just going to adjust this until we get to a nice little coloring that feels human-esque. Let's see, that's kind of peachy. There we go. This is a nice little peachy color, but we want it to be a little pale and peachy because again, we're vampy. We're a vampy alt vampire who wears overalls. So we're going to take that. We're going to click OK. And now if we go to head fill, we click on this. It doesn't really show us what it is doing, but I'm going to paste last multiply color, which should just paste that same flesh color. And so everywhere where I have skin, so like my arms are currently open. Yep, that's the arm. We're going to click on that. We're going to say paste last multiply color so we get that same flesh color all over. Right here, we're going to click on this arm. Again, make sure that's the right arm. It is. We're going to paste that same color. And then we're going to click on here because we have this heart cut out. We want to, okay, so that's the shirt. Torso, this is what we want. Paste that color. There we go. All Perfect. Great. And then down here, like we could make this our flesh color, or we can make it a different color to act like shoes. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a different color down here to make it act like shoes. Now, I know my face is looking crazy. We will get back to that. So let's go ahead and click on our face. So we have blush. Let's go ahead and adjust our blush color. Now, blush tends to be a little bit more on the pink side. So let's find some blush. Now, obviously, this looks really crazy, so we need to adjust that blush slightly so it's not so crazy. We can even adjust the transparency. So maybe we went super bold, but we adjust that transparency, and now it just makes us slightly blush. Click OK. And then we have our upper lip, which is that bit there. Now, you don't have to do the lips. You could do just flesh colored, or if you were like, no, I'm doing lips. We're going lippy with it. You could do lips too. But what we could have done, if I was smart, was to paste the last color from when we had our flesh figured out. So let me see if I can match this up. And it's kind of in this area, and it's a little bit like, we're gonna make it slightly pink, I think. There we go. We're just gonna do light pink lips. It's gonna look a little crazy, but it's gonna be okay. Let's see, we're gonna click on that bottom lip. Nope. There we go. Where is the lower lip? Right here. Yep, there we go. Paste last layer. There we go. Now we have like big lips. Oh my god, we're gonna look so crazy by the time this is done. Typically, if I didn't want the lips, I would have, when I was doing all my skin, I would have done my lips the same color as my skin, which we still could technically do. So if I click on my face, let's click on head. I can copy this. Just hit OK. And then I can come back here to my lips. Upper lip. We're going to paste this. Nope, that is not what we wanted. There we go. Oh, I didn't click off. There we go. That's it. That's what we want. We're going to click OK. And now that we have that flesh color again, we're going to click on that bottom lip. There we go. Bottom lip. Here we are. And we're going to say paste that last one. And there we go. Now we don't look so crazy. Yeah. But I mean, if you liked that look, you could totally keep that look. Let's play around with the hair. So fluffy center bangs. That is going to be this bang right here. We're going to turn that on. And now we're going to choose a hair color. Now, we have an ombre in there, which we were talking about earlier, how we could adjust the ombre. I really like this orange. I think we're going to rock this orange, actually, guys. This is pretty cute. I like the orange. Let's do orange and can we do orange and yellow? I wonder if we can do orange and yellow. All right. We're going to click on that. If we click on this bottom part here, that's the gradient. Okay, so click on the top of the hair here. It's going to give us this, and we're going to paste that last layer. We're going to keep doing that for all of these. The fun. We're going to paste that layer. We're not doing anything with the gradient yet. We will get to the gradient soon enough. So let's do that ponytail. We got the lower braid. Go ahead and paste that. Okay. Got this braid. And again, I always click the eye just so I can verify that I'm clicking on the right thing. Oh, I just realized our ears still aren't colored. We'll have to go back and color our ears. Let's see. We've got here. Paste that. All right. Looks good. Got our little thingy up here. We're going to do that. Paste that color. And you just kind of go through and you keep doing this for all of it. See the fun. There we go. Paste. Good. Good. What we're going to do is we're going to do like an orange and yellow look. Is this braid? That one? Yep, there it is. Paste that. Perfect. And then we're going to do this braid over here. Yeah. Okay, so now that our hair is mostly orange, now what we're going to do, see how she's already coming to life? Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in that gradient. So now we're going to click on the lower half of the hair to get the gradient. We could see if we click on this, where the gradient lies. You know what? We're going to make this neon yellow. Because why not? Let's make that super bright yellow. Now you might be like, well, I can barely see the yellow. Yeah, we're going to work on that. We're going to work on that. We will adjust that when we get back to adjusting our model. Right? Go, and now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to do the gradient, and we're going to do that yellow all over. And this is going to look super good when we're all done. Get that. gradient in. Perfect. Got another gradient right here. Add that. Perfect. Okay, we've got a gradient here, 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 here. We need one over here. We don't want the eyelash. We want this. Paste. There we go. And yeah, so we could even adjust the color of our eyelashes if we wanted to, which I think is pretty cool. This gradient. Our bottom of our pigtail here. And then we're going to get the top of our little bun. And top of this bun. And I don't think this has a gradient at all, but that's okay. It doesn't need a gradient. So if we click on this, if we click on our face, yeah, we can do our eyelashes if we wanted to, which I'm not really going to do too much with the lashes. But let me see. Let's see, eyelash gradient, just to kind of show you what you could do. See how it's like the edge of it is a different color. You could do that, but we're just gonna keep that black. All right, so let's play around with our eyes, shall we? Okay, so with our eyes, we got the eyelash gradient. We have eyeshadow. That's not the eyeshadow that's going on your eyelids. We can adjust that. We will eventually here, but this is more like the shadow that's cast on your eyes. We can adjust the color of the shine down here, which we might come to that here in a bit. We got the eyeball though. That's the big one that we want to adjust. So what color would we want to be? Let's make it. We could do a crazy color. We could do a nice bright blue or a bright green. Ooh, with the orange hair and the green, that might look kind of cool. We could do a bright green if we wanted to. A bright blue. Ooh, that bright blue is really nice too. But you could just kind of drag it through here and like get whatever color your heart desires. We could do red. Red would be pretty cool and crazy. What do you think? Should we do red? Yeah. Let's stay away from red. We're going to do, I like this. I like this color. This color is pretty cool. This like green color. There we go. Yeah, we're going to do nice bright green like that. Or click OK. And again, since we just adjusted that eye, let's go and adjust this eye. So we're going to find eyeball, make sure it's the right one. Click that and click paste last layer. There we go. Perfect. Now pupil. The pupil, as you can see, that is currently flashing. Now my pupil, I would like it to be black. So that's what I'm going to make it is black. But you could make it any color that you wanted to. If you wanted a red, if you wanted, more of a just like a phase of green. You could even like, if maybe you don't want pupils at all, you can completely take that away and just have like this unpupiled look to you. Whatever your heart desires, you can do that. All right, then we're going to go over here to our other pupil. Sure that's the right one. It is. We're going to paste that last color. Perfect. The sclera. So this is the white around your eyes. So I know some people do like black around their eyes, or they do red or some other color. Especially like if you're doing an animal creature, you have that ability to adjust that too. The shine is that bit down there. Maybe with the shine, what if we wanted it to be like a bright blue or something like that to really just add into that shine that our eye has? Again, you have options here. You have a lot of options to play around with. Yep, the shine. Let's go ahead and adjust that. Paste. Okay, cool. I'm liking her. I'm liking how she's looking. She's looking really cute. All right. So the other thing we have, we click on our eye. We have, let's see, we got our eyelid, which is this bit right here. So we could go ahead and give her makeup if we wanted to. Maybe she's got kind of like this grungy look to her. So maybe she's got some darker makeup. Maybe it's more browns or like purples, or like you can get really creative with it and do whatever you wanted with it. I like the idea because of the type of model that we're doing here. I like the idea of making it a little grungy. So we're going to go for like this brown color maybe. Actually, doesn't like purple go with green eyes? I feel like purple goes with green eyes. Let's do like light purple, something like that maybe. Nah, we're going to go gray. We're going to go gray and alt. There we go. Right. Works good enough. Okay. Eyelid. We're going to go ahead, turn that on, paste last layer. There we go. Oh, we looking good. We still got to do something about these ears though. So let's click on our head again. We're going to copy that. And we're going to click on our ear if we can. left ear pointy. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and colorize our ear. Delete all that and boom. Perfect. Now we have a flesh colored ear. Get this one over here. If I can get my hair out of the way to click on it, please. Can I click my ear? There we go. Right ear pointy. I'm going to paste that again. Paste. Go. Perfect. There. Now we got fleshy colored ears and we're one step closer to being colorized. So now we're going to go ahead and do our little cherry tie here. What we're going to do is I'm going to think about, let's make it pink. I like pink. We're going to do some pink. We're going to do okay. And we're going to do another one over here. And we're going to paste that last color. And now the other thing too is like maybe you wanted it to be like a little see-through, like because you know how like sometimes you have some that are like clear plastic in your hair. Maybe it's see-through so you can see it. So if we did that, click back on this one and adjust it. There we go. Now we got some like clear see-through ones, which I think is really kind of fun. So we'll do pink and like we'll do maybe blue with that. And again, we're going to kind of minimize that color a little bit just to make it look like fun little plastic that we can see through. There we go. I love it. Then we got to do our crown, which the crown front, you know what? Crowns are gold. Okay, we're going to do a nice gold crown. Something like that. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay. And then if we do the crown back, we could paste the last color, but you know, it's in the back. So I also want it to be a little bit darker. We're just going to drag that down a little bit so it's a little darker. So, and there we go. Oh, that's looking mighty, mighty good. Mighty, mighty good. I'm happy with this. So now we got to do our outfit. So if we just kind of click on our shirt here, we have our shirt that we need to adjust. Now, our shirt, because of the one we chose, the overalls are going to impact it. We're going to have like a little band there. So we need to keep in mind that. I'm thinking overall wise, we might go with like a nice gray color. And I'm thinking for this shirt, let's kind of try to mimic this color that we have with going on with our eyes. There we go. And then the overalls, we can try to actually mimic our eyeshadow color. So let me go ahead and grab that eyelid color real quick. Go, and we're going to paste that in our overalls. That looks kind of cute. Do that. And then the legs, we'll do the same thing there. But if you wanted, oh, nope, wrong leg. We're gonna give her some like fun pink shoes. There we go. We're gonna give her some fun pink shoes. Okay, clicked on the wrong thing. We need to click on pants. There we go. And see, I like this gray color because then we can see the detail on the pants instead of going solidly black, which would take away a lot of that detail. Could even do a nice blue if we wanted to. Right. Okay, let's click on this leg. Let's steal this color that we picked out for our shoe. Do that over here. Bam. All right. And there we go. Now we are fully customized, oops, except for that bit right there, which if you need to go back in, you can just, again, click on Customize Model. Same thing, click on those art meshes, because we need to colorize that pocket. Overall pocket. There we go. And you know what? Let's make that pocket pink. And just like that, now we have a VTuber design. And we're good to, we're basically good to go. The other thing to know is there's a setting to turn on. I can't remember exactly where it is about just keeping whatever your outfit is on when you first load in the model. I would have to look that up though, because off the top of my head, I'm panicking and I don't remember how to do that. So give me one moment. I'll remember how to do that. 1 second. Found it. It's very easy. So you come over here to this model settings, and right here where it says save active expressions, turn that on. And when you come back to load your model in, she'll be saved with all your looks here. So with that, you can also change the name of the model. So I'm going to just name it test model, for example. And if you took like a screenshot of her, you could load an icon here. So that way, when you have her on your little bar, which I'll show you here. No, cancel. when you change your model right now, the model is set for no icon, but you can take a screenshot of it and load that in as your icon. So that way you can easily identify what model this is when you're loading it in. But my hope is that this helped you to learn a little bit more about what you could do with this model in particular, and just how many options you have with this model to bend it to your will and bend it to your needs. That way you can go ahead and start your little VTubing career. So get to it, have fun with it, and most of all, guys, just enjoy. Just remember, you're supposed to have fun doing this. So feel free to leave any questions that you have below. I'll try to answer them as you have them. But otherwise, if this helped you out, feel free to give this a like. And thanks again for popping by. Appreciate you. Bye.